Theater mural was spearheaded by the Springfield Mural Committee, and that's a group of citizens who were interested in contributing to the community beautification efforts and public art efforts in the city of Springfield. And the committee got together and we spent about a year identifying possible sites in downtown Springfield for a mural. And then once we focused in on the Regent Theater, the back of the Regent Theater, which we thought was an ideal location, we started searching for an artist and identifying possible themes for the mural. And we chose Jason Morgan, an artist out of Yellow Springs, who had done some murals in Yellow Springs and Wilmington, Ohio. And we worked with Jason on coming up with an idea for what the mural might look like here on the back of the Regent Theater. We chose this site because we thought it was a wonderful location, a lot of pedestrian activity in this area, so people could get up close and see the mural. We also liked the idea of using the Regent because the building is so historically rich. It was the home of Gus Sun, who was a famous vaudeville booking agent in the early 20th century, and he built the Regent Theater. It opened in 1920, and he actually had his offices in the Regent Theater on the second floor, and he booked vaudeville acts for the entire country out of those offices. And another interesting fact about the Regent Theater is when Gus Sun sold it, the Chackers brothers bought it, and the Chackers family has a long history of running theaters here in Springfield, going back to 1908 when Phil Chackers opened up his first theater, the Princess Theater. But in the early days, when Gus Sun first built the Regent Theater, it was a legitimate theater with an orchestra, and they did plays and vaudeville acts. And then later, in about 1926, when motion pictures started becoming extremely popular, he added movies, so it was both a vaudeville house and a movie theater at one time. And then later just became a movie theater.
And after graduating from high school, I went in the service. I was in the Marines, and after the Marines, I got a job at the bottom of the totem pole in a graphic arts company, and worked in the art department for many years. Altogether, I was working on computers, doing graphic art for about 10 years. After that, I gradually got into painting and finally decided to do painting as a living. Painted reproduction work and then started doing portraits and discovered that portraits was what I was really good at and what I really enjoyed. I've done that for several years. I continue to do that. And I like painting large, so people started asking me if I ever did murals, and I gradually worked into doing murals, and I've done about 4 or 5 murals so far. This is the largest one that I've done as of yet. It's 60 feet square, 60 feet high, 60 feet tall, or wide, and that's 6 stories to people who don't know that. We started out by putting a base coat of white gesso on the building, and then I use a projector to project the images that I've sketched onto that wall. And some of the sketches that I project are done in sections, and some are individual. The archway and the curtains and the spotlight were all done in one shot, and then each of the figures were done separately, sketched on there while being projected. And then I use a mechanical lift to get up there and just start painting, and just keep painting just like you would on a canvas until I get down to the bottom. And when it was all done, I do put on a layer of clear varnish. You put 2 layers of that on, and that should protect it from the elements, from smog and sun and wind. I think probably the most challenging part of the mural, other than the weather, is the height. I'm not a fan of heights. Generally like to stay on the second floor or lower, but when you have a job, you do what you have to do. And after a while of being up there on the top, about fifth or sixth floor, if you don't look down, you tend to get used to it. So I try not to look down very much.